You know that feeling, right? The year's wrapping up, and suddenly there's this huge pressure to make some massive, life-altering change the second the clock hits midnight. But what if the real way to start fresh isn't with all that noise and fireworks, but with something a lot quieter?
So here we are. It's the last day of the year, and there's this energy in the air. You feel it everywhere, don't you? The countdowns, the parties, everyone making big plans. It's like there's this collective belief that something absolutely has to change the moment we hit the new year.
Yeah, it's that pressure to just draw a line in the sand and poof, become a whole new person overnight. And look, that feeling is powerful for sure, but that intense pressure, it might actually be setting us up to fail before we even start. Let's dig into why that is.
Okay, so this brings us to our first big idea, what we can call the excitement trap. You know what I'm talking about, that incredible emotional rush that feels like the perfect fuel for a new start. But here's the catch, it's a super unreliable source of energy.
Now let's be clear, excitement isn't a bad thing at all. It's awesome. It gives you this huge jolt of energy and gets you fired up. But the key word, the most important word here, is temporary. It's like a firework, you know? A beautiful, spectacular burst, and then it's just gone.
And that, right there, is the heart of the issue. When we make these huge, sweeping promises based only on that fleeting feeling, what happens when the feeling disappears? Which, let's be honest, it always does. The whole foundation for your new plan just crumbles. And listen, this isn't about you failing or not having enough willpower. It's about the strategy itself being flawed from the get-go.
So, okay, if excitement is a trap, then what's the alternative? Well, the answer is to shift our focus away from that loud, flashy feeling to something much quieter, much more stable. Let's call it the path of clarity.
So what exactly is direction? Think of it as this quiet, steady force. It doesn't need you to feel hyped up all the time. It doesn't run on 24/7 motivation. No, it's built on something much simpler, honesty. And its real superpower? It's still there, long after the initial motivation has packed its bags and left.
Let's actually put these two side by side so you can really see the difference. You've got excitement, which is temporary, it's loud, it's emotional, and it's screaming for you to take some huge urgent action right now. But then you have direction. That's lasting, it's quiet, it's honest, and it stays with you. It doesn't push you to make a giant leap, it just shows you the next small step. So that's the real choice here, isn't it? A frantic sprint that burns out fast, or a steady journey that can actually last.
Okay, so I know what you're thinking. This whole direction thing sounds great, but how do you actually find it? Where does it come from? Well, the good news is you don't have to wait for some magical lightning bolt of inspiration. It's really just about taking a quiet moment to be honest with yourself and ask a few simple but really powerful questions.
And these questions are so straightforward. You don't need some huge, dramatic answer for any of them. You just need an honest one. So just think, what really worked for you this year? And on the flip side, what just didn't? What's a pattern you've noticed that you're just not willing to drag into another year? And what's something good, something you want to carry forward? Seriously, the answers to these simple questions, that's your map. That's your direction for the year ahead.
And what all this does is it leads to a totally different way of thinking about a new year. It's not about this big, loud, chaotic start. It's about reframing it as something quiet, something built on the power of just being calm and understanding where you're at.
Honestly, this is probably the most important part. So I want you to really hear this. Consider this your official permission slip to just let go of all that pressure. You do not need a big, flashy moment. You don't have to feel super inspired or have some kind of grand revelation. Just having a calm, clear sense of what's next is more than enough to get started. In fact, it's way, way better.
Because at the end of the day, when your direction is clear, the new year doesn't need all that excitement to get going. It just begins. So maybe the real question isn't about what huge promise you're going to make at midnight. Maybe it's about what little piece of clarity you're going to carry with you into tomorrow.